Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching. What is happening, you guys? I am Jade if you're new here, and today we're going to be catching up on the sad story of Nollywood actor who recently passed away, Saint Obi, his life, his marriage, and his subsequent passing. So recently, award-winning Nigerian veteran journalist Zulu Okafor wrote a scathing piece and took us into some elements of Saint Obi's marital life, and it was filled with loneliness, just as I had predicted in my previous post about this. Apparently, Saint Obi was once married and even left behind 3 children. So I'm going to read what journalist Zulu Okafor wrote, and this is tear-jerking, let me tell you guys. So according to the article, his persona was two-dimensional. To a distant public, he was upscale and cool. His manly bearing spoke loud. His on-screen image amplifies some idiosyncrasies, heroic, romantic, and adventure, and traits that did not gel with the mortal privacy that eerily defines his quiet and lonely life. Saint Obi, real name Obinna Owanfor, was shy, almost bordering on timidity and insecurity. He cherished the pleasantly tranquil interactions among a few friends. He would vanish at any outburst that could upset the poise of any such meetings. As he repeatedly told me, he just wanted to live a cool, quiet, and fulfilled life. But has he lived this cool and fulfilled life he envisioned? I have my doubt. I tell Saint's story here with painful tears in my eyes because he was a star, a superstar whose life turned out a gleam of irony. Yet it was this stardom that fetched him his much professed financially strong and powerful wife. So according to this article, his wife was a much more stronger and much more powerful financially, basically, than he was. Because now, I don't know if you guys know about this thing back in the day where they used to say, and it goes for both men and women, who Nollywood was like an audition for a lot of these stars. Okay, they were more likely, if you look at all the people that are married in Nollywood, they ended up marrying people who were financially solid because of the publicity, because of the exposure that Nollywood gave them. So their market, in quote unquote, was very strong. They were more exposed to the richer class of people in the society. So a lot of them, both men and women, they married richer spouses because of the exposure that Nollywood gave them. Okay, some of them married women that were living in abroad. For example, Chidi Mokeme, he married a woman that lived in America. That's just an example. So Nollywood gave them the exposure for them to be seen and for richer spouses to locate them, essentially, because they hung out at parties, they did things, they had fun, and so they will meet all these rich people, mingle with rich people, and subsequently, if things go well for them, they end up marrying those people. But anyways, let me keep reading. So continuing, the article says, and their wedding, the solemn ritual of love, would drastically alter the course of his life and tragically yank him off the creative community that threw him up for the wife to capture and indeed conquer. So this is the article saying this. So continuing, the article says, their wedding was at best a dramatization of love. It was quick. He barely told us that he found a wife. Then the marriage happened. It was something of a mystique. Only those involved understood the histrionics that played out. None of us, who were his closest pals, who worked with him through the crucible of the crest of his career in Hollywood, none of us was invited. The distance between us and the guy I admirably called Saint of the Storm had begun. So they're saying that after the marriage, so he started distancing himself from his friends, the people who were there with him, the people who knew him, and all of that malarkey. So continuing, the article says, so the man is saying that he used to admirably call him Saint of the Storm, which I thought was really sweet. So the article says the distance between us and the guy that I admirably called Saint of the Storm had been gone. This gulf would widen with each year. We saw him perhaps once in a year after his marriage, and life actually seemed to have given him a fair shake of the dice. He dressed well, drove big cars, and even his skin, in literal lingo, spelt wellness. So whilst all of these good things were happening to him on account of him marrying a much financially buoyant woman, but then the distance between his friends, the people who went through the hardship, the rough and the tough of life, grew. So he stopped being friends. And that's one thing that any single person, I don't care if you're a man, I don't care if you're a woman, if you're listening to this and you're reading this along with me, right? If you ever marry a woman or a man who suddenly feel like your friends, the people that know you, the people that knew you from way back, are no longer important, they are no longer relevant, they no longer matter, they no longer fit into your present life, be very wary of them, because what that person is doing is trying to control you. That is like the first sign of control. They want to isolate you from the people you know, your support system, the people that will ordinarily run to your beck and call, the people that have known you your entire life or career or whatever. When you marry somebody that suddenly is now trying to distance you or trying to make you feel like you are now above your friends, your loved ones, and sometimes even your family. People do it. Some men and some women will marry somebody and then they will try to cause a rift between the person's family so that they can really manipulate and use the person and take advantage. So that is the one thing that you should look out for. Somebody that suddenly wants you to not have anything to do with the people in your life, people that you have known. Those are the kind of people that you absolutely need to stay away from, because they are bad news. Let me tell you, they are bad news, okay? And sometimes it is usually unfortunate because many people do not learn until they are married to this person, and then this person will bring their true character out. A lot of people are very good at hiding, pretending to be something that they are not, until they marry, and then the true nature of who they are really comes out. In that situation, what you will do not listen to them, do not do what they tell you, because if you do, you are relinquishing your control to them. You are telling them, my life now belongs to you. No, you have to continue. You have to stay strong. You have to stay strong. If they are saying to you, no, you don't need that life anymore, don't listen, because it is a way of controlling you. They just want to get you away from your support system so that they can have full and total control of your life. Don't listen. Don't do it. Maintain relationship with the people that you have known. Fight back. Fight that mindset back. Whenever they're coming with it, fight them for it. Don't ever succumb to it. Okay? So continuing, the article says the saint would be blessed with 3 beautiful children, but not on one occasion where his friends in Nollywood invited for christening or birthday. We were told that his wife was of the topmost hierarchy in telecom giant MTN. But even if their celebrations were designed to be a rendezvous of the elite of the technocracies that his wife chiefly belonged, you expected that Saint would reach out to a few of his fellow creatives. For even if they would herald his small beginnings, there could be no tinge of shame to it, because we all have our journeys and our stories. So apparently his friends from his Nollywood days were never even invited to functions like child naming ceremony, christening. Well, christening and naming ceremony are exactly the same thing. But yeah, his friends were never invited. This just seemed to me like a Nollywood script, right? It's like art imitating life, or should I say life imitating art in this situation. The things that we'll watch in Nollywood where friends, once they hit it big and they're now rich and famous, or they now align themselves with rich people, they no longer want anything to do with their old life, their past life. So that seemed to me like what was happening here. So based on this article anyway, so let's keep reading. So continuing, the article says, And even at that, the actor or cineast in Nollywood is by no means poor. But more tragic is the fact that his marriage did not only take away Obi from his friend, it took him away from Nollywood. Saint stopped acting, absconded from his career and perhaps his calling. It will seem prognostic now, yes, because I recall leaving my house in Lagos mainland for his massive office in Lekki, Lagos, Victoria Island. It was about 6 years ago. There, I demanded to know why my friend abandoned our industry. He told me with his usual shy expressions that he wanted to focus on some other businesses and also to work behind the cameras. Because his visage was unconvincing to me, I told him in stark terms that whatever his new vision and pursuit, he must not abandon the trade that made him who he is. Let me take a break and quickly say this, right? This is something that happens a lot, especially in Nollywood. A lot of these women, they crush on these guys, or a lot of these men, they crush on these women. They like them. They like the way they talk. They like the way they act. They are, obsessed with them. And so they do whatever they need to do to make sure that they marry these people. And once they marry these people, they proceed to try to take them away from their craft, because now they know that just like they were crushing and falling in love from just looking at them, they know that there are other people also, other women or other men who are also crushing on their spouses. So what they proceed to do is to try and remove their spouses from the public eye. It is an obsession. It is a way to dominate and own somebody and control somebody. And those people who end up making the mistake of abandoning their craft because their spouses told them to, those people usually end up regretting it, because it never ends well. Because it's a control, what am I going to do? All I know is acting, for example, right? So now you want me to leave because of your insecurity, because of your jealousy. You don't want another woman kissing me on the scene or whatever. You don't trust me. You think that I might find somebody that is better than you. All these other things that causes their spouses to be jealous, right? So they take these people out of making movies, something that they have done. And then what? And then they become the people who are doing this domination, become the breadwinners in the family, and then they start controlling and abusing and using the person. Don't ever do it, okay? Don't ever let love or commitment or whatever take you away from what you love, because then it'll be taking you away from your friends, your support system. Okay, your community. You need to have a community that is outside your spouse. And this should be a wake-up call for anybody to never ever abandon your community. Never. Because that is the easiest way for you to be controlled. This right here was all about control. In your mind, the person might make you believe that, oh, you are above this now, you should not be doing this now, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie, yo. They are just trying to convince you to abandon everything that you know and love, your support system, so that they can really, really control your life. They can literally become your puppet master while you become the puppet. So please, I hope that you understand. So let me keep reading this. The article says, because his visage was unconvincing to me, I told him in stark terms that whatever his new vision and pursuit, he must not abandon the trade that made him who he is. It took another 3 years for Saint to return to his homies, but when he did, some of the deeply disappointed ones sniggered behind him. That was because the simmering rumor cracked in his marriage had hit home. And though secretive in his ways, he knew it was time to open up, and he did. In quotation, I did not know why my wife's siblings see me as a gold digger. They confront me, harass and fight me in my own matrimony, and my wife did nothing to stop them. I work hard, I earn my money. I have never depended on my wife, he lamented, eyes blurred with tears. You could tell he was in deep pains. By the next visit, the Saint returned with a deep cut from knife on his... Wow, you guys. Let me read this again. By the next visit, the saint returned with a deep cut from knife on his left eye. His wife's brother, he said, scaled the wall fence of their home to attack him. They were captured by hidden closed-circuit camera CCTV installed for surveillance and security, he revealed. He reported them at the police station and subsequently acquired a gun to defend himself. This effectively marked the beginning of the end of his marriage and perhaps Saint Obi's long walk to a sad end. He moved out of his matrimonial home to a new house to begin the reconstruction of his destiny, alone without his wife and worse still, without his 3 beautiful children. Meanwhile, his wife went to the police to defend her siblings, using her financial power to manipulate the cause of justice. Saint stated unequivocally. The wife also sued for divorce, not in Lagos but in Ogun State. As Saint put it, it was to make the journey difficult for me. But I will not bend, neither will I break. I will fight with my last blood to take custody of my children. They love me and they know it will be hard for me to live without them. The divorce is not an issue. My marriage has long been over, he said with a mix of courage and a quaky heart that betrayed his distress. So continuing, the article states, about mid last year, however, Obinna took ill, but he told no one. He simply became scarce. He was in and out of hospital, we will later learn. He sold 2 of his 3 big SUVs to take proper care of his health and to acquire 6 Camrys he used for Uber. But his vanishing health continued unabated. He seemed to have a premonition of his own passing as he wept repeatedly about not seeing his children. He emaciated, life took a grim picture. When I saw him by chance in January 2023, the dude called Saint looked 15 years older than his age. His macho coat had shrunk, his fat wallet was gone. What was left was only his fat will. His eyes seemed lost in their socket. This will be the last time I will see him. Saint snuck out of Lagos to hang with his sister in Jos. He told no one. But a month ago, in April precisely, the once delightful actor who brought joy to many at home broke his icy silence. He called our mutual friend in the US to give him a devastating message. He was on a deathbed, he said, and wanted our friend to pray for him. It's not looking good. Pray for me, he appealed passionately. His next call came on May 1st, 2023, this time to his mentor, the man who made him a star with his production ZadeOsaNaija. He told him with a wavering voice that he had 3 surgeries but was still in hospital in Jos. He averred again that his situation was not looking good, that he is also in a deep pain, distress that he could not see his children. But still he begged him not to tell anyone about his ailment. Such was the life of this creative hermit, a lonely trooper. I was the first to hear the news of his death late on Sunday, May 7th. Having confirmed it, I called Zeb Ejiro. In quotation, he said, I have a very bad news, my brother Zeb. I began, what is it? What is it? He asked anxiously. A big star has fallen in Nollywood. Zeb broke down in tears. I hadn't said who it was, but sobbing helplessly. Now, he said, don't tell me it's Saint Obi. Sadly, he was right. May his soul find peace. So you guys just heard me read all of that. One thing that is very sure, based on everything that I have read so far, is that he led a very lonely life. Because even if you have all this money, even if you have all this influence, but yet all of this was as a result of the person that you married, then you are going to be lonely. Because the people who knew you from when you had nothing, the people who really should be the one, hyping you throughout your journey, they're not even there. Okay, people that understand you, they're not even there to enjoy or to even witness your success. So it seems like he abandoned his friends on his wife say so because she was insecure and she wanted him all to herself, and so he abandoned. And by the time he decided to come back, when his marriage had started having issues, those people that he abandoned wanted nothing to do with him, which makes sense. Like, I wouldn't even blame them for feeling the way that they did. So yeah, it's very, very unfortunate that this is basically how his life ended. And another thing from the write-up and everything that I have learned so far since his passing, it's very obvious that his children were his life. He loved them so much. And I hope that they are able to come. I hope the wife will put aside all of her differences and allow the children to come and pay their father their last respects, because I think that will really, really hurt him. You know, if they were not able to come and pay, it will hurt the children as well if they were not able to come and pay their father their last respect. And may his soul rest in perfect peace. I will bring you guys more updates as they become available. Hopefully, because the story has gone viral, this article has gone viral, I am hoping that his wife's side of the story will come out. You know, somebody on her behalf will also tell her side of the story, because remember, there are 3 sides to a story. There is his side, her side, and the truth somewhere in between. So I look forward to hearing something from his wife's family. And yeah, anyways, this is where I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think in a comment. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you all so much. I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.